I am alive and it's good to be alive. Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about kind of a painful subject for me. I have spent the last 2 hours messing around in the simulacrum here, finding out neat little tricks and honestly just what works against the Juggernaut, because there was recently a alert where you had to fight a Juggernaut and it was level 120 and you could only use melee, so fairly difficult. A lot of people said it was super easy for them, but depending on your situation it may or may not be that easy, needless to say. So I'm going to show you guys my favorite methods for killing the Juggernaut, and then I'm going to show you some other neat tricks that you might want to utilize in some way, shape, or form. So for starters, I'm going to use Titania because she is my number one. She's my Juggernaut killer, basically. So this is a level 30 Juggernaut, and as you can see, look, boom, Juggernaut's dead. It's literally that easy. The reason it's this easy is because the Juggernaut is extremely susceptible to gas damage. So whatever primary weapon mods you have equipped, because naturally that's what Titania's ultimate uses, make sure you have gas damage equipped. So like for me, on my Tigress Prime, I've got, Scattering Inferno and Toxic Barrage. So make sure you do gas damage. That is drastically going to help you. Also, the reason I really like fighting the Juggernaut with this method, here, let's bump the Juggernaut up 10 levels. The reason I like fighting the Juggernaut with this method is because the Juggernaut has a very hard time attacking you if you're at higher or lower altitudes than it is. As you can see there, it just spat its stuff at me and missed completely. So there you have it. And you can also notice that if I shoot the Jug when his weak points aren't exposed, I still deal some damage, though not very much. And essentially, the points on the Juggernaut you want to shoot are the sort of mouth-looking thing he has on his back, which will open up every now and then to shoot shit at you. And also, every now and then, he will do a stomp attack that will leave his stomach vulnerable. So you want to shoot him on his spine when it's open, and also his stomach can be shot at any time. So as you can see, there's his back opened up there. And also what's nice about Titania is, oh, he might dash off the map. It's the only bad thing about practicing in here. When you're Titania, there we go. See, he rears up to stomp, and even if you're in the air, you can still shoot his stomach. So I think Titania is just the best overall choice for fighting the Juggernaut if you're in, as long as you're not in like a tight, crowded hallway. I mean, look at that. It's so easy. The reason I'm using a Juggernaut at this level is because that's more than likely the average level it's going to be when you encounter it. Only for that specific alert was it such an outrageously high level. Now, Ash's Fatal Teleport ability, where he instantly teleports to a target and does a melee finisher, actually can work against the Juggernaut, despite what you might have heard that it doesn't, but it only works for a brief moment while his spine and his weak point are exposed. You have to Fatal Teleport him right at that moment, and even then sometimes it doesn't. So I have gotten it to work when I was testing with it, but it is extremely unreliable, and more than likely in the heat of the moment it's not going to work out great for you. And obviously a lot of you probably saw this coming, but Chroma is definitely one of my favorites to fight the Juggernaut, simply because of how tanky he can get if you use his Ice Armor and his Vex Armor combined. This will allow you to not really have to worry about the damage you take very much. As you can see, Juggernaut just poisoned me, ran me over, and I am still going strong. I picked a real shitty weapon to try and kill the Juggernaut. But basically the reason this is helpful is because it not only amps your damage as Chroma, but also increases your damage resistance. And look at that. It boosted my damage so much that a single Vacor Merlock shot killed the Juggernaut. I mean, I was shooting it with my Panthera, but as you saw, it clearly wasn't doing any damage. So Chroma is great because you can just kind of get all up in its face and sort of distract it, especially if you're playing in a squad. You can distract it so the rest of your team can do what they need to do, because there's a lot of frames that are semi-helpful against the Juggernaut, but they just can't tank the damage. So I think Chroma is probably my second favorite, aside from Titania. So obviously the Panthera, really disappointing. I wish the Panthera did more damage to the Juggernaut, especially since it just got a buff and I have a Riven for it, and I actually shred level 100 enemies easy with this thing. But for whatever reason, even though it does slash, which is good against Infested, just really doesn't do crap against the Juggernaut and has a very hard time hitting him in his critical points. So we're going to pick something else. So Mesa, much like Chroma, is helpful because he can tank some of the Juggernaut's damage, not nearly as much though. And on top of that, your throwable disc sets the Juggernaut on fire and also seems to deal damage that ignores his armor, but it doesn't do very much damage, so it's not exactly the most helpful thing in the world. But what is kind of nice is if you're playing on a squad and you use his ult, your spears can actually disable the Juggernaut momentarily, kind of opening it up to the rest of your team. And I think he just ran off the ledge. Yes, he did. I would also like to note that if you're using corrosive status effects that reduce enemies' armor, it doesn't work too great against the Juggernaut, at least not at high levels. So to be honest, I wouldn't worry too much what elements you have on your weapon, because the only element, to my knowledge, that can proc on the Juggernaut is radiation damage, which, for those of you who aren't aware, that will cause him to attack the closest unit to him, whether it be friendly or enemy. Nova is a really fun one to use if you're in a squad. I would not recommend using Nova solo, although I have before, because if you get hit once, you're practically dead. But your molecular wave is going to drastically slow down the Juggernaut, which is really nice because it makes it easy to tell what he's about to do. And as you can see there, it causes his weak points to be exposed for a longer period of time. So you're definitely going to want a Slova, which is a high strength build, really slow down the Juggernaut. And if you immobilize it enough, you shouldn't have a hard time dodging its attacks. But, you know, just in case, just keep an eye on it. And I would clear out as many hostile enemies in the area as you can. But that should be pretty easy considering they'll be primed from your molecular wave. Alright, and Volt's kind of interesting. His ultimate does stun the Juggernaut, although I think it's for a reduced duration. And unfortunately, you can't seem to hit the Juggernaut in its weak points while it's being stunned like that. So more or less, that's really just used to buy your team some time. Can't really be used to kill it, unfortunately. So it's good because it stuns the Juggernaut, but it's bad because you can't really hurt him very much during that duration. His A button, which also normally stuns enemies, cannot stun the Juggernaut. I can't express how important that is. So if you're shooting at the Jug and you're in the middle of reloading, you think, oh, I'll just use my first power because I can use it while reloading. That will not stun the Juggernaut, and he will probably mow your ass down. Alright, and then we have Valkyrie. Valkyrie's kind of an interesting one to use against the Juggernaut. A lot of people say that they use Valkyrie and they didn't have a hard time at all, but to be honest, I don't really like fighting the Juggernaut as Valkyrie because at higher levels I believe she becomes less effective. So naturally you're going to want to go invincible using her ult, and you run up and you basically just spam your attack button on the Juggernaut, and every now and then when he reveals his weak points, as you can see there, you can deal damage to him. For whatever reason though, as the Juggernaut scales extremely high level, this becomes nearly non-effective whatsoever. It'll deal almost no damage no matter what melee weapon I bring or what mods I have on it. But definitely against lower level Juggernauts, as you can see there, it was pretty easy. So Valkyrie, definitely helpful, but against a higher level Jug, you might want to bring something else. Alternatively, you can use Mag's Magnetize ability, and basically this will cause all projectiles shot by the Juggernaut to really just hit himself, and also prevent him from shooting your teammates. So that's pretty nice. His dash attack can still hurt you, but as you can see, if you put that bubble around him, sometimes he'll even just kill himself, which is pretty awesome. I really don't like playing as Mag anymore since her rework, and she's not terribly helpful against the infested unless it's a defense mission. But if you have the Juggernaut in mind, as you can see here, it's going to deflect just about everything the Juggernaut tries to throw at you, from the poison to the quills, and there we go. Voila, he is dead. So not the fastest method, but it will help keep the rest of your team safe. And lastly but not least, I would honestly recommend Mesa. Mesa is not bad. The reason I like using Mesa is because her Shatter Shield will negate 95% of her damage, which gives you some tankiness to the Juggernaut's projectiles. Also, if you use her Peacemaker ability, you'll notice it doesn't do much damage, but as soon as the Juggernaut opens up a critical point that you can hit, you will immediately shoot it. So as you can see there, the Juggernaut has died because you basically keep shooting it and you'll only hit for very low numbers like 6s, etc. But the second that critical spot opens, you will instantly be shooting it and more than likely kill it, especially since I put gas damage on my secondary because that's what her Peacemaker uses, is your secondary mod. So if you put gas damage on it, it honestly just wrecks the Juggernaut, and you also have a little bit of tankiness. So Mesa is not a bad choice at all either, though she's not the best against infested. Alright, so just for fun, before we end the video, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hit 150 subscribers recently. I'm not going to do like a special video or anything on it because I said my next milestone is 250. I feel like that's going to take me forever to reach, but I honestly can't tell you guys how much I appreciate you as subscribers. If you are watching this content daily or regularly, or just every now and then if you legitimately enjoy my content, find it helpful or just entertaining. I really appreciate it. It makes it seriously makes my day every time I see views or a thumbs up or a comment, knowing that I get to help people in a game I'm super passionate about. I just love that. So for you guys to do something a bit silly and ridiculous, I'm going to spawn a level 100 Juggernaut just because I hate myself, and I'm going to show you guys how difficult it can be. So I'm gonna, oh god, let's do Shatter Shield, increase my gun damage, all that good stuff. Though, truth be told, the Juggernaut's probably just gonna run off the ledge of the map and I won't even have to worry about it. Blah, 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 eat shit, eat shit, eat shit, eat shit. Oh my gosh, what if I pull this off? Holy crap. But yeah, so as you can see, Mesa is not bad at all if you have enough energy. Blah, 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 blah. I wonder how much health he has. My god. I'm hitting for like 10k on the crits. Oh, more like 1k. I'm sorry. I can't read. Reading's hard. Oh, he's only like halfway dead. Okay, hang on. Pop some energy. Pop some energy. Pop some energy. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, so this can work. So for that alert where you were fighting a 120 Jug, it would be kind of awesome if you just camped up somewhere and started doing this to the Juggernaut. Honestly, might save your team. How much health do you have left? Oh my gosh, you just have so much freaking health. Why? Oh man, this thing's not bad either, to be honest. I love Mesa. Mesa's so cool. If you guys haven't, go check out my Mesa video. She's a beast. Alright, you know what? Vacor Marlock all the way, baby. Oh god. Hitting him from here, though? Dude, know how I feel about that. Why hasn't he moved? He's just sitting there this whole time. How you like that gas damage, sucker? Sucks, doesn't it? Oh god, wow, instantly killed me. Okay. So yeah, you literally can't get touched by anything it shoots. You'll die. Almost killed it though. If I didn't run out of energy, maybe you have a Trinity on your team. But anyways, thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a kick-ass day. Peace!